And let's get to the high point. One of the high points. There was actually two this week. One of the high points of this show, Britt Baker. Dr. Britt, she's back. Britt Baker is back. More alliteration is needed. Hopefully they won't sell a t-shirt of her with a black eye this time or whatever. But she did the live in-ring promo explaining her absence, what exactly her problem has been. The rumors were she was injured. And she was, at some points. But she told the story that she started feeling sick and vision blurry and spent the week in the hospital with what they diagnosed as a mini stroke. And she was susceptible and had to stay home to get well and blah, 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 which you can understand. And you got to think, not only for her and Adam Cole being not only their young age and athletes, and they're not people with bad habits, and they got the shittiest run of fucking health luck I've ever seen. But anyway, she did a great promo where she told them for real what had happened to her, and you could be real here. It wasn't exposing the wrestling business. Talk about her real medical condition that kept her away, and she was nervous when she came back. Would anybody give a damn? And, you've all felt the fear of rejection. At this point, I'm like, what is this, Dr. Phil? But for this audience, apparently they do fear rejection instead of feeding on it like a fucking rabid beast like I do. But what a baby face. She said, when I needed you, you welcomed me back with open arms, and I'm one of you. And more motivational talk, right? And they listened to her. I gather the younger generation likes to talk about their problems with anybody that will listen. That's another thing I've learned from being around people the last few years.
Well, that's true, the younger generation, but it's especially true of younger wrestlers.
Yes, more often than not. It is also a younger wrestler. But anyway, it was a great babyface promo. And then, much like as Jerry Jarrett used to say, tell them the truth as long as you can. And then when you tie it into your business and start working, they don't know where you're leaving off. She mentioned the new female face of AEW and got a little bit sarcastic about Mercedes and her piped-in CEO chants and how hard she's worked since Britt's been gone and blah, blah, blah. And the people started getting with it. And then on the screen appears an SUV with the horn honking. Have we gone too far, Brian, with the idea that these big stars show up for a live television show like 45 minutes before it's over with?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's also interesting. I guess she was watching the monitor or watching in her car and said, okay, pull up now. But the more ridiculous thing was the camera's filming the car pull up because the camera happens to be there in the back. And then it goes to a tight shot, one camera, of her feet coming out of the car. It's one thing if you start with that.
You saw the zoom.
Yeah, but it's one thing if you start with that. Like, oh, who is it? You can't go to that once you've established a wide shot.
Yes, I was hoping because apparently they only had one camera out there, and somebody had told the guy, we want the shot when the door opens, it's only the feet stepping out, so we don't know who it is. Right? For the people who didn't see this, I'm trying to describe it. Apparently that was an instruction he'd been given, but apparently also, since he's the only camera, he had to shoot the goddamn SUV pulling up, honking the horn. And what are you going to do? Zoom in on the wheels? And we don't know what the SUV model, make a number, right? So he shoots the SUV, pulls up, and then as the door starts to open, there's a quick zoom to the bottom of for no apparent reason, otherwise than I hope somebody's feet come out. If they don't, if I've just done this on my own and nobody steps out, I'm going to look like an idiot. Oh, there's some feet.
Oh, they came out of the sunroof. I'm an idiot.
Yes, yeah. That's the thing. If they'd have popped up out of the sunroof, you'd have heard a voice. I'm here. But it's just the other fucking guys across the street, the WWE, are doing fucking Hollywood cinema. And these guys are doing cable access. So then she gets out. Old Mercedes, Mone, and the fans boo. They've got the arena audio. And the fans boo. And of course, who's there to meet her but the Buckaroos? And they hug her and put her over and make over and everything, because now that the people are booing the shit out of Mercedes because they just really don't like her, the Buckaroos want to be as close to her as possible to sap some of the boos off. Oh, see, Tony, they're really booing. So anyway, and then they immediately, and this is the 9 o'clock hour, they go back to the ring, but the crew starts bringing out the bags and bouquets of balloons for the celebration for Mercedes's title win. She won another belt from the young lady from Mexico. And then while Britt's standing there, she just does her entrance, Mercedes, and does the pole dance shimmy. And has the migraine, and Britt is staring at her. And I wrote at that point, this may be the only chance they have or ever will have to get any money out of Mercedes Mone whatsoever. And then, as soon as she starts talking, how did you describe it, Brian? It goes back to performance. It goes back to, oh, now we're working again, from this heartfelt promo we got that Britt Baker got over as a babyface with. Now it's back to this scripted hoo-ha that they would do on Raw with a lot better producers and directors. How do you phrase it?
I don't remember if I had a specific phrase for it.
You had a specific phrase for they went back to WWE-ish style of doing something, but it was a nattier phrase than that. But the fans had a natty little phrase, shut the fuck up.
And there lies the problem. Britt Baker, this is probably like her best promo, especially in front of a live audience. And she was nervous, but she had something to say. Sonny King rule, good promo.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné, every single thing she has done, it's the same dance, it's the same fakery, and if she gets on the mic, you don't believe anything she says. Completely insincere. And when you see her do interviews, I saw one the other day, she's doing it in that character, in that voice, talking about how she's the highest paid woman in wrestling history, and you're like, damn, you just don't draw or bring any people into the building or cause people to really care. And the big exposure is going to be her against someone like Britt Baker, who the AEW fans chose. They made her a heel. She was there from the very beginning, like she said here. So it's going to be really interesting. The matches may not be your thing, but watching how everything plays out with Mercedes Moné over the next year is going to be really interesting.
I'm going to watch her and Britt. This will be interesting. And they told each other off a little bit. Britt told her off and the fans loved it. And Mercedes did another catchphrase and they stared at each other, but they're going to wrestle it all in. And at least they've realized that Mercedes is a heel. And they're just, okay, because she's a phony personality. Her matches haven't been that great. Her promos are bleh. And she's got that annoying dance and the piped-in CEO. I don't know, and I've said this from the start, how they figured. Once I saw her, I said, this is going to be a babyface?
And it's the whole carpetbagger situation. She came in, immediately got 2 belts, and she's like the face of the company for the women.
Well, but regardless, we don't have to get sexist or anything. What she does with her carpet, whether it matches the drapes or not, it's entirely up to her.
That wasn't what I meant. All In is Sunday, August 27th. That's almost 2 months of build for this match. What do you think?
Well, in that case, they got plenty of time to make the carpet match the drapes. They could remodel the whole house. I mean, I want to See, I want to see the match because I want to see the crowd response, because especially I think at the big show, they will boo Mercedes out of the arena and Britt Baker's going to be over unless the intervening 7 weeks of TV, destroys that and dulls it to where people don't care by then. Right now, I think everybody wants to see it. And that's why this may be their chance to get money out of Mercedes, because after this, because they don't want to see her against people. I think they're booing because she sucks. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, time will tell.
And it's your show.
Was that the end of Dynamite?
But it's my review, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. What are you transitioning to here, sir?
I don't know. Well, I didn't know where we were going.
You know what that means? Jim has lost his train of thought.